Madonna got the call at 3 a.m. Camille Barbone, the woman who'd discovered her, the woman she hadn't spoken to in 31 years, had suffered a massive heart attack and was asking for her. As Madonna rushed to the hospital, memories flooded back. The freezing subway mornings, Camille's unwavering faith, the bitter lawsuit, the decades of silence. When she walked into that hospital room and saw the frail woman who'd once been her savior, Madonna realized she'd spent 3 decades running from the person who'd loved her most, unconditionally. What she said in those final hours would haunt her forever. It was March 15, 2010, at 3:17 a.m. when Madonna's phone rang. She'd been asleep in her London home after a grueling day of rehearsals for her upcoming tour. The number on the screen was unfamiliar, a New York area code she didn't recognize. She almost didn't answer. But something, instinct, fate, or just the unsettling feeling of a 3 a.m. phone call made her pick up. "Is this Madonna?" The voice was professional, clinical. "This is Mount Sinai Hospital in New York. We have Camille Barbone here. She's suffered a serious heart attack, and she's been asking for you." Madonna felt like she'd been punched in the stomach. That name, Camille Barbone, a name she hadn't heard spoken aloud in over 30 years, a name that carried so much weight, so much guilt, so much unfinished business that Madonna had spent 3 decades trying not to think about it. Is she going to make it?" Madonna managed to ask. "We're doing everything we can, but she's asking for you. She said it's important. She said she needs to see you before." The nurse didn't finish the sentence. She didn't have to. 6 hours later, Madonna was on a private jet to New York, staring out the window at the clouds below and remembering things she'd buried for 31 years. She remembered being 21 years old, freezing in a Times Square subway station, singing for spare change with fingers so cold she could barely form guitar chords. She remembered Camille stopping to listen, then dropping her business card instead of money. She remembered Camille taking her in, not just as a client, but almost as a daughter, feeding her when she was starving, letting her sleep on her couch when she had nowhere else to go, believing in her talent when the entire music industry said she'd never make it. Camille had been more than a manager. She'd been the mother Madonna had lost at age 5, the mentor she desperately needed, the one person who'd seen past Madonna's bravado and recognized both her talent and her vulnerability. And Madonna had repaid that love by destroying her. The memories Madonna had tried to suppress for 3 decades came flooding back during that flight. It was 1982. Madonna had been working with Camille for 2 years, and they'd finally gotten somewhere. Everybody was getting club play. Record labels were interested, and Madonna was on the verge of the breakthrough she dreamed about. That's when the bigger offers started coming in. Major labels wanted Madonna, but they didn't want Camille. They wanted established management, proven track records, industry connections that Camille's small operation couldn't provide. Madonna had a choice: stay loyal to the woman who'd saved her, or grab the opportunity that might never come again. She chose her career. She fired Camille over a phone call that lasted less than 3 minutes. She signed with a major label and never looked back. Camille had been devastated. The woman who'd invested 2 years of her life, countless hours of work, and all her belief in Madonna was left with nothing. No percentage of Madonna's future earnings, no acknowledgement of her role, no gratitude for the foundation she'd laid. Camille did what anyone in her position would do. She sued. The lawsuit was bitter and public, with lawyers fighting over contracts and percentages while Madonna's star continued to rise. Madonna won the legal battle, but lost something else in the process: her connection to the one person who'd loved her before she was Madonna, when she was just a scared kid from Michigan with a dream and nothing else. When Madonna walked into Mount Sinai Hospital at 2 p.m., she was barely recognizable, no makeup, hair in a simple ponytail, wearing jeans and a hoodie. She'd asked her security to wait outside. This moment needed to be private. The nurse led her to room 412 in the cardiac ICU. "She's been in and out of consciousness," the nurse explained. "The next 24 hours are critical, but when she's awake, she keeps asking for you." Madonna stood outside the door for a full minute, trying to gather the courage to walk in. What do you say to someone you betrayed 31 years ago? How do you apologize for stealing someone's dream and making it your own? Finally, she pushed the door open. Camille Barbone, at 73, looked nothing like the vibrant, confident woman Madonna remembered. She was tiny in the hospital bed, connected to machines that beeped rhythmically, her face pale and drawn. But when her eyes opened and she saw Madonna standing in the doorway, something sparked in them: recognition, emotion, and something else Madonna couldn't quite identify. "You came," Camille whispered, her voice weak but clear. Madonna walked to the bedside, and suddenly 31 years of carefully constructed defenses crumbled. Tears started streaming down her face. "I'm so sorry," Madonna said, the words tumbling out. "Camille, I'm so sorry, for everything, for how I treated you, for what I did to you, for never saying thank you, for never acknowledging what you did for me." Camille reached out a trembling hand, and Madonna took it, feeling how frail and small it was compared to the strong hands she remembered. "I know," Camille said simply. "I always knew you were sorry, even when you never said it." For the next hour, while machines beeped and nurses checked vitals, two women who'd once been as close as mother and daughter tried to bridge 3 decades of silence. "Why didn't you ever reach out?" Madonna asked. "Why didn't you try to contact me?" Camille smiled weakly. "What would I have said? Remember me, the woman you threw away on your way to the top. You'd made your choice, Madonna. I had to respect that, even if it broke my heart. It wasn't about you," Madonna tried to explain. "It was about survival. It was about grabbing the opportunity when it came. In this industry, if you hesitate, you lose everything." "I know," Camille said. "I understood it even then. That's what made it hurt so much. I understood why you did it, and I still couldn't forgive you for it." Madonna wiped away tears. Did you hate me?" Camille was quiet for a long moment. "Sometimes, especially in the beginning, when I saw you everywhere, on TV, in magazines, selling out stadiums, and I wasn't part of it. I'd tell myself that I discovered you, I made you, and you erased me from your history." "You did make me," Madonna said fiercely. "Everything I became started with you. You believed in me when I was nobody. You invested in me when I had nothing to offer. You loved me when I was unlovable." "Then why did you never say that?" Camille asked, and there was real pain in her voice. "Why did you never acknowledge me? Not in interviews, not in award speeches, not once in 31 years. Madonna looked down at their joined hands. "Because I was ashamed. Because every time I thought about you, I had to face what I'd done. It was easier to pretend you never existed than to admit I'd betrayed someone who'd saved my life." "That's what hurt the most," Camille said. "Not the money, not the credit, not even the betrayal. It was being erased, being treated like I never mattered." "You mattered," Madonna said, crying harder now. "You mattered more than anyone. That's why it hurt so much to lose you. That's why I could never face what I'd done." Camille squeezed Madonna's hand weakly. "I need you to know something. Despite everything, the lawsuit, the silence, the hurt, I never stopped being proud of you. Every time I saw you succeed, part of me hurt because I wasn't there, but another part of me felt proud because I knew I'd helped create that success." "You didn't just help create it," Madonna said. "You made it possible. Without you, I'd still be singing in subway stations. Or more likely, I'd have given up and gone back to Michigan." "Camille," Madonna said, "I can't undo what I did. I can't give you back those 31 years. But I need you to know that not a day went by when I didn't think about you. Not a success that I didn't know I owed to you. Not a moment on stage where I didn't remember that it all started with you believing in me." Camille's eyes were wet now too. "I forgave you a long time ago, Madonna. I just never had the chance to tell you." "Why?" Madonna asked. "After what I did to you, how could you forgive me?" "Because holding on to that anger was destroying me more than your betrayal ever did," Camille said. "And because I understood. I'd spent my whole career in music. I knew how it worked. I knew what it took to make it. And I knew that sometimes survival means making choices that hurt the people who love you." Madonna laid her head on the edge of the hospital bed, still holding Camille's hand. "I should have been there for you. All these years. You should have been at my concerts, at my premieres, sharing in the success you made possible." "I was there," Camille said softly. "You just didn't see me. I came to your first concert at Radio City Music Hall in 1985. I sat in the back and watched you command that stage, and I cried because I was so proud and so heartbroken at the same time." Madonna looked up in shock. "You were there." "I've been to 14 of your concerts over the years," Camille admitted. "Always in the back, always alone, always leaving before you could see me. I couldn't stay away, even when I wanted to hate you. If you get through this, Madonna said urgently, I want you back in my life, not as my manager, not as an employee, as family, as the person you should have been all along. Camille smiled, the first real smile Madonna had seen. I'd like that. But Madonna, you need to understand something. I don't need your money or your fame. I just needed to know that I mattered, that those years we spent together meant something to you. They meant everything, Madonna said. You weren't just my manager, Camille. You were my mother when I didn't have one. You were my family when I was alone. You were my believer when I couldn't believe in myself. Then promise me something, Camille said, her voice getting weaker. Promise me you'll stop running from your past. Stop pretending you did this alone. Tell people about the woman who found you in a subway, not because I need the credit, but because those struggling artists out there need to know that someone believed in you before you were famous. I promise, Madonna said. I promise I'll tell your story, our story. The machines around Camille's bed started beeping more urgently. Nurses rushed in, gently pushing Madonna aside. You need to wait outside, one nurse said firmly. Madonna stood in the hallway for 3 hours while doctors worked to stabilize Camille. When the cardiologist finally came out, his expression told Madonna everything she needed to know before he spoke. We've stabilized her for now, but the damage to her heart is extensive. She's asking for you again. Madonna went back into the room. Camille looked even frailer than before, but her eyes were clear. I heard what you promised, Camille said, about telling our story, about not forgetting me. I won't forget, Madonna said. Never again. Good, Camille said. Because Madonna, you need to understand something. I don't regret discovering you. Even with everything that happened, even with all the pain, I don't regret it. You were worth it. Your music, your impact, everything you've done, it was worth the heartbreak. Camille Barbone survived that heart attack. She spent 2 weeks in the hospital, and Madonna visited her every day she was in New York. They talked about the early days, about the music industry, about all the lost years. When Camille was released from the hospital, Madonna offered to pay for everything, the best doctors, a comfortable apartment, whatever she needed. Camille accepted the help, but set boundaries. I don't want to be bought, Madonna. I want to be remembered. Over the following years, Madonna kept her promise. She started mentioning Camille in interviews, crediting her with discovering and developing her in those crucial early years. She invited Camille to concerts, to premieres, to family gatherings. It wasn't perfect. 31 years of hurt couldn't be completely healed, but it was something, an acknowledgement, an apology made real through actions instead of just words. In 2015, Madonna executive produced a documentary about her early years in New York. Camille Barbone was featured prominently, telling the story of finding Madonna in that Times Square subway station, of believing in her, of the partnership that launched a legend. This is my way of saying thank you, Madonna told Camille at the documentary premiere, and my way of making sure your story is told. Camille, now healthier and surrounded by people who finally knew her role in Madonna's success, smiled. It took us 33 years to get here, but maybe some things are worth the wait. The story of Madonna and Camille Barbone is more than just a tale of betrayal and forgiveness. It's a reminder that success built on abandoning those who helped you is hollow. It's a lesson about the importance of acknowledging the people who believed in you before the world did. Madonna's career would have happened with or without that 3 a.m. phone call, but something essential would have been missing, the acknowledgement that none of us succeed alone, that every dream requires someone who believes in it first. Today, Camille Barbone is in her late 70s, living comfortably in New York, occasionally consulting for young artists and telling stories about the music industry's golden age. She and Madonna talk regularly, have dinner when Madonna's in town, and have built something that looks like family. The hospital room reunion didn't erase 31 years of silence, but it started a conversation that should have happened decades earlier. Sometimes the most important thing we can do is simply acknowledge the debts we can never fully repay. Madonna often says that Camille Barbone taught her the most important lesson about success. It means nothing if you achieve it by destroying the people who got you there. And while she learned that lesson 3 decades too late, at least she finally learned it. If this powerful story of betrayal, forgiveness, and redemption moved you, subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. Share with anyone who needs to remember to thank the people who believed in them first. Have you ever had to apologize for something you did years ago? Let us know in the comments, and ring that notification bell for more incredible true stories about the relationships behind fame.